It's been 2 years since we first introduced the world to our grey wolf, who at the time was just a 12-week-old pup. And in that time, he's become quite the character. In the wild, grey wolves typically live in packs, and their social structures are highly complex with lots of howling, which is how they communicate over long distances and help each other find food. Wolves are also highly intelligent animals, capable of learning new behaviors and adapting to new environments. In fact, they have the second highest brain-to-body ratio of any species on the planet, right behind us humans. Now, like many other wild animals, wolves have a natural instinct to be wary of humans, because we are potential threats to their safety and their food sources. But our wolf is a domestic silver-colored wolf, which means that his ancestors were selectively bred by humans for certain looks or behaviors. Now, this doesn't mean that he's a domesticated animal like a dog, because in reality there's very little difference between domestic and wild wolves. And it's important to remember that even though he may look cute and cuddly, he's still a wild animal and can be dangerous if he wants to. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is the enclosure so small? And to answer that question, let me ask you this. Do you want to spend the rest of your life in a 300-acre field? Probably not, unless you're a farmer, and that's why we built our wolf a custom indoor den with plenty of space to roam and explore. Sure, it's nowhere near as big as the hundreds of acres that a wolf would have in the wild, but it gives him the opportunity to exercise both his body and his mind. And honestly, it's much safer for both him and us humans. Now, when it comes to feeding time, wolves are carnivores, and in the wild, they'll eat pretty much any animal that they can catch, including deer, elk, and bison. They'll also scavenge on dead animals, if that's all that's available to them. However, our wolf has a much more varied diet, consisting of meat, fruits, and vegetables. In fact, we feed him a specialized diet that meets all of his nutritional needs and ensures that he stays healthy. It should also be noted that wolves in captivity often have shorter lifespans than wolves in the wild. In fact, most captive wolves die before the age of 20, whereas wolves in the wild typically live to be around 8 or 9 years old. This is likely due to a number of factors, including a lack of exercise, a poor diet, and simply not enough space to roam. So there you have it, a glimpse into the life of a grey wolf. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about these amazing creatures, and maybe you'll see them in a new light. If you'd like to learn more about wolves, be sure to check out the resources in the description below. Thanks for watching. See ya.